This is the video library. We've got everything here. How-to videos, tutorials, masterclasses. They can all be watched while you edit, or enjoyed on their own, here in the Dreamiverse.
Blade Gunner. Ah, there you are. The player didn't think my game was challenging enough. Well, the creator is done messing around. Three locked doors, three hidden keys. If you can unlock all three doors, you're free to leave. Should be easy for you since you breezed your way through Opposite Day 2, a game I thought was impossible. Opposite Day 3 is even more impossible. So good luck. And if you find a bug, I put it there intentionally, okay?
You can get a good view of Casey from here. I have been lost in this maze for days, and I am loving every minute of it. I have been lost in this maze for days, and I am loving every minute of it. Welcome. Learn about Opposite Day 3 here.
Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah.
Hope you enjoy. It's a shoe store, not a shoe store. It's a shoe store, not a shoe store. We just have the one shoe. Read the sign. It's a shoe store, not a shoe. It's a shoe store, not a shoe store. It's a shoe store, not a shoe store. We just have the one shoe. Read the sign. Get it? That Casey sure is funny. Get it? Get it? That Casey get it? That Casey sure is funny. I love it here. I love it here.
Psst, hey, over here. It's me, Connie. Oh, we need to stay quiet. Rather, I have to be quiet. Casey made you a silent protagonist. I snuck in without him knowing, hence the disguise. Although I do kind of like it. Oh, sorry. Now, to get out, you need those keys. He meant it when he said this game was impossible. This world is his design, as well as all its citizens. All but one, I should say. Find my friend who broke free from Casey's control. He's not brainwashed like the others. His house should be easy to spot. Good luck!
Happy as can be. Best city I've lived in. Have you been to the Yes No? It's kinda fun in its own way. Make yourself at home. Hey, can you help me out? Okay. can't be seen talking with you across the street. FBI watching me. Casey put me here to tell you this game is impossible to win. Sorry. Have you met Casey? He keeps us safe and happy. Casey wanted me to tell you it's not a waste of time standing here. Casey wanted me to tell you it's not a waste of time standing here.
This is by far the best game of Dreams. No, it's the best game ever, the player exclaimed. There's no way he can top this. Sadly, Casey knew the player was right. Note, the typo is a callback to Opposite Day 2. Everything Casey does is intentional. This is by far the best game. This is by far the best game of dreams. No, it's the best game ever, the player exclaimed. There's no way he can top this. Sadly, Casey knew the player was right. Note, the typo is a callback to Opposite Day 2. Everything Casey does is intentional. You got that? This is by far the best game of dreams. No, it's the best game ever, the player exclaimed. There's no way he can top this. Sadly, Casey knew the player was right. Note, the typo is a callback to Opposite Day 2. Everything Casey does is intentional.
When things don't sound the way they should, it can ruin the experience of playing. Don't worry, Cuthbert. The Dreamiverse contains heaps of ready-made sounds for us to use. First, let's switch over to play mode and see how it all sounds at the moment. Quiet, isn't it? Doesn't feel quite right. In fact, it's creeping me out, so let's head back into edit mode. Switch over to sound mode so we can start adding some sounds. Find the modes menu. It's inside the assembly menu. As you can see, there are lots of different modes. Each has its own set of tools for doing different things. We're currently in assembly mode. If you select the speaker symbol icon with X, we'll switch to sound mode. That's better. In the next step, we'll start adding sounds to the scene. Okay, the first thing we need to do is to start adding some background sounds. See the button with the magnifying glass in the sound menu? That's the search menu. Select it now to view the different types of sounds you can add. Now select the speaker button to search for sound effects. This is the Dreamiverse, where you can find all the wonderful stuff other dreamers have made. I've already set aside a collection of sound effects for you in here. That's what this collection is. It's bursting with different sound effects for you to play with. Select it with X to open it. I've arranged the sound effects into groups for you. To get a proper overview, use the right stick to zoom in and out of the collection. This group of sound effects are background sounds. You can hear a preview of each sound by hovering over them with your imp. Find something that fits the dreamy atmosphere of the scene. I rather like dream space. When you've found a sound you like, select it with X. The sound you selected now appears as a gadget on your imp. You can stamp it into your scene with R2, any place you like. It doesn't matter where you put it because background sounds can be heard everywhere in a scene. Now let's start time with R3 and see how it all sounds. Ah, that's better. Notice how much more alive the scene feels with just that one sound. Imagine how it will feel with even more sound effects. But there's no need to imagine it. You can start adding more now to create a layered and unique ambience. If you want to replace a sound effect, just stamp a different one over it. When you've got things sounding just how you want them, rewind time with L3 and move on to the next step. Background sounds really help to create an immersive atmosphere. But to add sound to a specific object in the scene, you need to use what we call a spot sound. Let's try it out on the fire between the platforms. I'm sure we can find some fire sound effects in the collection. Let's take a look. Select Search Sound Effects from the Sound menu. As we open the tutorial collection in the last step, it's still open when we come back to the Dreamiverse. Isn't that handy? Ah, just what we need, some fire sound effects. Have a listen to some of the fire sounds and pick one you like. Once you've selected it, your imp will be equipped with a spot sound effect. See those rings coming off the gadget? That's the sound's fade zone. The rings show you how the sound fades away as you move further from the source. Let's stamp that sound between the first two platforms. Put it above the fire and see what that sounds like. If you want to see the sound's fade zone, select the gadget with X. Click R3 to listen to the sound effect. You'll notice the sound gets louder the closer you get to it. Aha! You can almost feel that fire. Toasty. As you move away, out of the fade zone, it gets quieter, until eventually you can't hear it at all. You can press the circle button now to deselect the sound effect. Then click L3 to rewind the scene. If you're happy with your spot sound, move on to the next step. Things haven't been that tricky for Connie so far, but the next gap looks a bit too big, even with her mighty jumping skills. Let's fly over to that floating platform using the left and right sticks and get a closer look at it. Looks like there's a trigger zone attached to it. Why don't we switch over to play mode and see what it does? Well, will you look at that? It lights up the platform when Connie steps on it. Lovely. You know what would make it even better though? If it made a sound as well. So let's switch back to edit mode and make that happen. I've got a feeling you can find something in the tutorial collection to use here. Go to the assembly menu and go back into sound mode. Now go to search and select search sound effects. Over here are some energy sound effects. Have a listen to a few. Pick a sound effect for your light up platform. I quite like the sound of Dream Terminal. See which one you like and select it with X. Now it's time to stamp it in the scene somewhere near the platform. In the next step, I'll show you how to trigger the sound effect. As we've already seen, background and spot sounds will play constantly when placed in the scene like this. But for the platform, we want the sound to be triggered by Connie. And for that to happen, we need to connect the sound effect to the same trigger zone that activates the glow. Move in closer to the platform using the left and right sticks. Take a good look at the trigger zone gadget. Do you see the output port that says detected when you hover over it? That means it will trigger when it detects a possessed puppet like Connie. So all we need to do to make the sound effect activate when Connie's on the platform is connect the output to the sound effect. Let's do that now. When you select the detected port with R2 or X, you'll see your imp becomes tethered to the port by a wire. Gadgets communicate with each other using wires like this. You'll also notice that a power port has appeared on the bottom of the sound effect gadget. To connect the two gadgets, just hover over that power port and press R2 or X. Time to head into play mode to see how it sounds. When you're ready, switch back to edit mode and start the next step. Oh, I just realized something. We got so caught up with these sound effects, we forgot to add another platform for Connie. She must be getting impatient, so let's sort that out for her. The easiest thing to do would be to clone the platform. Remember how to do that? Just hover over it, hold L1, and press and hold R2. Once the clone has been created, let go of L1, move it to the right spot, then release R2 to place it down. When you clone an object, any gadgets attached to it will come along for the ride. So all you need to do now is to wire the trigger zone on the second platform to the sound effect. Or even better, grab a new sound effect from the collection, just for variety. It's up to you. Dream shapers should always go with their instincts. Whatever you choose to do, move on to the next step when you're ready.